It isn't sticking out? Okay, good. I always wondered if you had like a really deep navel, if you could just reach in there and grab your spine and just telescope your whole neck down. So you're just, I don't know if that's a thing though. I don't think it is. My navel is certainly not deep enough. And I heard there was like 300 or 400 different types of bacteria that live in a human navel. Is that the case? Yeah. What a life those fucking guys have, right? But then again, when you think about it, maybe that's what we are ultimately as well, just in some big universal asshole. All right, so you had multiple drummers on the album, Devin. How do you intend to reproduce that live? Well, among the things that has slowed down my mental capacity today was trying to figure that out. But, okay, so this is how it's going to work. Basically, the whole touring cycle is going to... Oh, this is driving me crazy. Hang on a second. And this is driving me crazy, too. Hang on a second. There we go. Now nothing drives me crazy. Everything's perfect.
Sure.
So basically, the whole touring cycle is going to be split up into a bunch of things because I found towards the end of the DTP, I was starting to become aware that the process in which I employed to be creatively free was starting to be sort of corralled into a live performance scenario where there's a lot of click tracks, a lot of backing tracks, everything was sort of, and it was really cool, but it ends up being that you're replicating the songs more so than performing music. So what I wanted to do, not only with the Empath record, which was, I think, fundamentally rooted in trying to participate in my emotions as opposed to intellectualizing them, which is what had happened in my estimation for many years. That process also has led me to this, where I'm trying to reconnect with how do you perform live. And a lot of it, for me, during the acoustic tour, it was intentional to have it this naked. And I wanted to sort of figure out where I'm at with it. Like, by the time I get to doing Empath in its entirety, and by the time we have like the choirs and the orchestras and the gorillas and the elephants and all these things on stage, I want to have gone through the process that I feel like I needed to reinvest myself with. And this acoustic one is a good way to start because, for example, tonight, scattered, lots of things. We've got to catch a flight going home. I really love the fact that everybody's here. I want to perform. You become hyper aware. At what point does it become counterproductive to be that aware of it? And although I do ramble a lot, like waffle on endlessly, which we're only beginning, so hooray, it is good for me to be become more aware of the psychological process. So by the time it gets to doing Empath in its entirety with the 3 drummers, with everything such as it needs to be, this won't be a part of it. So welcome to the rehearsal session. All right. Also, is it Thing Beyond Things or Thing Beyond Things? Oh, shit, I have no idea. Is it Things Beyond?
Things go things.
I don't know.
Because I think it's a typo.
Okay.
On the album.
Okay. So what do you want it to be? What do you want it to be? What do you want it to be?
I want to do Things Beyond Things.
So the song is actually Thing Beyond Things. No, I don't. Honestly, a lot of what happens with what I do professionally is, oh, you dropped something. Oh, I know, but I fucked it up. I'm sure I did. It says Thing Beyond Things?
Yeah.
I don't know,
But you
dude.
sing things.
You know what? I think the fact that people are so aware of what I do is really, really rewarding for me on some level, but also frightening because I think people know much more about what I'm doing than actually I do. And people have mentioned, I've had a lot of comments say, well, Empath, is it some sort of enigma? Does it mean something other than what it is? And I'm like, no. But I think even like the documentaries, everything that we put out in the past, some of the work that I had done, I had experimented as part of it, even with this thing right now where I'm like rambling, and like deconstructing what's going on in my mind in terms of my connection to performance, all this sort of thing. Back when I was doing strapping, that process included experimenting with the lack of accountability. So I would make music and then just say, okay, well, whatever people perceive it as once it's out there is fine. But what that ended up drawing to my world was people's interpretations of the work in ways that I didn't intend whatsoever. So now a lot of the Empath thing and all this is about explaining it to the best of my ability. However, that also leads me to realize that the amount of typos and things that I have on here has maybe led people to thinking that it's deeper than it actually is. So I'm going to stop talking now and move to this next one. So it can be things. Absolutely, it's a typo. I shall burn in hell, and all will be suffering. All right, so out of all drummers you could have chosen for Empath, what made you pick Anoop, Morgan, and Samus? Are there any drummers you want to collaborate with? Oh yeah, I want to. It's like, I always find like, I've been married for so many years, and that sort of has a level of monogamy to it that is, yeah, yay! But I think that maybe musicians now, I just want to fuck a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? So I just want a ton of drummers, and just all of them. And I just want, I want you. You play fast? Yeah, we'll do that for a week. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that for a week. Yeah, right? So I want to play with all the drummers in a lot of ways. And what made me pick, well, Morgan is great. Morgan is one of my favorite human beings ever. And when he lets himself loose as a drummer, you've never seen anything like this fucking guy, right? So there's that. Anoop, because he was able to and willing to take my demos, program to the point where I could analyze what he had done, and if there was any changes that I needed structurally, he was willing to change his MIDI and then learn that note for note. And Sam, I like because I wanted somebody who did really precise, raging death metal, but without the sort of grimness that tends to come sometimes with that scene. You know, I like the fact that he did like Enter Sandman with a bunch of dildos and things like that. It seemed like I could revisit that part of my creative identity without the sort of baggage that comes from like needing to be grim. You know what I mean? So that was that. All right. Any chance of a Ziltoid animated film? Yes, I all these questions are interesting to me because I've not really thought of any of them so far. So let me just think now. Is there a chance of a Ziltoid animated film? I think if I say yes, everybody's going to go yay, and if I say no, everybody's going to be like, huh. So I think, judging by where my mind's at tonight, yes, absolutely, we have. However, the details of which, who's involved with it, is a very closely guarded secret. So I'm going to have to keep you in suspense for that. But oh boy, wow. It's going to be like everything you wanted plus more. Right? Angelina Jolie is going to be sitting there with a blower fan in front of her lips, going to be slapping Ziltoid in the face. Going to be projecting something on Rihanna's forehead. It's going to be fucking unbelievable. All right, so next question. Can you please play some of Lucky Animals and dedicate it to my fiance Jen and our cats? The cat's name is Femi and Ibanez. Okay, Chris Ward. Well, the evening has been awkward thus far for me. Therefore, why stop now? And her album! Oh, here, would you like your album back? Okay, thank you. Here, take it. Yes, it does. Take on things. All right. So what guitar shall I choose for this? So the cat's name, Femi?
Kimmy.
You say it was Femi?
Kimmy.
Kimmy and Ibanez. Wow. Okay. It is quiet in here tonight. So, here I am putting on the strap and trying to remember quickly how Lucky Animals goes. Knowing that it goes down to D, I will start with that by moving this guitar that's extended to it. bunch of time to go on the show before you fly. Don't give up. But the roof's so low and it's so weird in here. It's okay, but it sounds so unforgiving and that light is crazy. It's okay, man. A bunch of people that traveled everywhere. It's fucking Wednesday, dude. They're out on a Wednesday. Wednesday Canadian, remember. Check this out, motherfuckers. Woo! What did I do today? I bought a shaver to shave my arm hair because I hate arm hair. And then the only one, and I did it all weird, and the only one I could find was a ladies one for $10, and it is suspiciously a shaver plus vibrating shaver. So I bought a pink vibrator, and I was backstage trying to shave my arm hair, and I fucked that up too. So, I need a drink. Where's the thing that you do that with? Right there. I got this. God. Oh.